ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीराम जय जय राम। 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 जय जय राम। जय जय राम। ॐ रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। अतुलितबलधामं हेमशैलाभदेहं दनुजवनकृशानुं ज्ञानिनामग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। ॐ श्री हनुमते नमः। ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम, सुप्रभातम। We will first chant the two chaupais and the doha. नवधा भगति कहूँ तो ही पाही, सावधान सुनु धरु मन माही। प्रथम भगति संतन कर संगा, दूसरी रति मम कथा प्रसंगा। गुरुपद पंकज सेवा, तीसरी भगति अमान। चौथी भगति मम गुण गण, करई कपट तजिगान। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। बिनु सत्संग न हरि कथा. Very beautifully Tulsidas ji writes, yesterday we saw बिनु सत्संग विवेक न होई, Rama Kripa ati sulabh na hoi. Another place he writes, Binu satsang na hari katha, tohi binu moh na bhag, moh gaye binu Ram pada, hoi na dridha anuraga. Without satsang, Harikatha is not available. In those days, Harikatha was a very popular activity in the villages, even in towns. Harikatha used to be a very popular activity. And the Kathakar in Harikatha would beautifully sing probably Ramcharitamanas or other songs on Bhagavan Sri Rama, or if it is Bhagavatam, on Krishna. And they would sing. And people also would sing along. There was such a beautiful, union between the speaker and the onlookers. They would just not participate only in physically, but they would emotionally be there, intellectually be there. This association with the teacher, Kaya, Manasa, Buddhya, when they associate themselves, in that process, they forget their own individuality. The songs with which the Harikathakar would sing, there are occasions where people also would get up and dance. And in that Namasmarana, they would forget themselves, they would forget the world, and all those individual ego in them would just melt away. And it is also noticed in very many houses, the atmosphere would continue even after the Harikatha was over. In fact, all through the day. Because of that vibrations, nobody would have any reason to complain or find fault or point out or pick on others. All these would not be there. There was a beautiful atmosphere, cohesive living. Harikatha is one activity in the town, but that actually brought in so much of values, so much of love, so much of unity, so much of oneness between people that there was it was a joy to live. In the decadence of time, we see there has been no such activity, or rather there are activities, but many people are not able to attend because of their own priorities, their own field of activity, their own occupation. And even in case by mistake they come to a Harikatha, they are preoccupied with their mind. And therefore, such beautiful life of Bhagavan Sri Ramchandraji or Sri Krishna, that life, the principles, the way, the bhavana, all these would not go into them. And what remained obviously is the selfish attitudes. That is how we find today there is so much of arrogance, there is so much of, selfishness, not caring for the society, not caring for the people around. So much of chaos, so much of pain for oneself and for others. Therefore, satsanga is a wonderful activity. And only in satsanga, as I said earlier, we come to actually know where we are wrong. And we have an opportunity to understand it in the right way and change ourselves. When we change ourselves, our mind is purer. When the mind becomes purer, the mind has only joy. And what is our purpose of life? Happiness, sukha prapti. Therefore, Harikatha is a beautiful activity. Satsanga is a must. It is not an option. In our case, the Laukika Jivana has become a must. Laukika Jivana has become a way of life, and Satsang and Harikatha, let me see. I am not yet prepared. What do you mean by not yet prepared? Now I am young, Swamiji. Now I have to work. People have not understood how much Harikatha, how much Satsanga can help even in my day-to-day life. Living a common life at home with people. Harikatha is extremely important. Binu Sakta Sang na Harikatha, tohi binu moh na bhag. Without Harikatha, our moha will not depart. Why does moha not depart? Reason is we have not understood that what we are doing is wrong. And even if we have understood, the force of desires, the force of our own vasanas would drag us to do all what is not required. And in Satsanga, we are highlighted on the pros and cons of our own activity, and we are given an opportunity to change our mind and come back to the track and follow the marga which is set for us. So Satsanga is important for removing the moha, delusion. And what is a delusion? Delusion here is taking this body to be me and serving the body. What do? We are actually serving our own body from morning to morning. We are a slave to our body and serve only our body. Think. That moha of taking this body as me, if it has to go, the only educational institution is Guru Charana, Guru Satsanga. That is the only place where we will come to know of our own flaw of taking this body as me, myself. And it is only in Satsanga we will come to know how to come out of it also. A beautiful path is set. In Satsanga, the Acharya gives us the ways and means as to how we can shift our attention. Move from taking the body as me to taking the body as a gadget for using in this world for gaining the knowledge. Mohana Bhag. Moh gaye binu Ramapad hoina dridha anurag. Moh gaye, without moha being dispelled. Moh gaye binu Ramapada dridha anurag na hoi. Dridha anuraga means what? Unconditional, innocent love towards the feet of Bhagavan. Ramapada dridha anuraga na hoi. Why? Anuraga. What is anuraga? Raga, attachment. Anuraga, constant attachment. Total attachment. Where is it now? It is everywhere out in the world and to the body. Unless we understand the body is only a gadget which I use to reach Him. Unless I come to understand that this body is only a tool, it is only a gadget, then I will be able to remove myself from the slavery of the demands of the body. And then the love which I have for the body can be shifted to Bhagavan. Shifting of love is very easy because every day we keep changing things, our desires. But the love for Bhagavan will become sthira. That is why it is said Dridha Anuraga. Dridha Anuraga meaning what? Firm, we may in a way, in a manner of saying call attachment, but firm abidance. That's the right word. Firm abidance at the feet of Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra Ji. Therefore, Satsanga is very, 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 very important. And then, how do I gain that? In Satsang Ramakatha. Yesterday we saw the Katha of Kevat, how a simple, uneducated, illiterate boatman could have so much of love for Bhagavan. Let us be very clear. Bhagavan does not look for what you have studied, how much degree you have got. Bhagavan does not want to know what position you are in. Bhagavan does not know what is the circumstances you are in. Bhagavan does not want to know how much bank balance you have. Bhagavan does not want to know how many people you have helped. Bhagavan does not know how much you serve in the world outside. But Bhagavan wants to know how much you love Him and Him alone. Why? Because today we find in the world, even seva also has become a reason to appreciate our ego. Think. By doing seva, I want others' recognition. I want to be appreciated. I want my seva to be announced. I want my contribution to be displayed. Think. All these are what? These are no better than your desireful activities in the world. Because Bhagavan doesn't want anything. Bhagavan wants only our Nishkalanka Hridaya. And this Nishkalanka Hridaya comes only when I offer my ego to Him at His feet. Any amount of offerings, He may smile at us, He may say good. But what He is looking for, I remember when I was a small boy, maybe 5th standard, 6th standard, around that age, my parents had taken the whole family to one movie. It was in our mother tongue, Tamil movie. I don't remember the name. It is basically on Devi, Kollur Mookambika. The whole movie was on Mookambika. And in that movie, that Grama Adhikari makes 108 varieties of Naivedyam. He also brings 21 varieties of fruits. And it is in a whole room in front of Bhagavati. The whole room is full of prasadam. Varieties of sweets, varieties of food items. Everything is kept there. And with all that silk, pancheshalya, etc. And then now big, grand puja is going on. In that Grama Panchayat Adhikari's house, there is one lady who works. She is a great devotee of Bhagavati, but she is not allowed to enter the temple because she is an outcast. So she stands out in the house, in the house she is working. Only in that place she is not allowed to enter in the temple in the house. So, those days, inside the house there would be a temple like and setup for Bhagavan. She would stand outside, and what she brings, she also participates from her heart in that puja from outside. And she runs to her hut, and she brings that food which she had made 2 days before, which is leftovers. In our language, it is leftover. She brings that food, and she serves Bhagavati in a very old plate, aluminum plate. She keeps, and that is full of water. She removes, spills the water out, and then she gives. And then she says, Amma, I have only this. I don't have so many. You please accept this. After accepting all of that, you accept this also. And in that movie, that Bhagavati appears only to her, and she walks down, crossing all of those food items, and she comes and picks up that little morsel of food which she has kept, and then she eats with lot of joy. Lot of joy. This is a depiction of the actual requirement of Bhagavan. Bhagavan does not require all Panchabhaksha Paramanandam. All what Bhagavan requires is just love. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. That bhaktya is the focus. Therefore, through all our activities, our mind should be diverted towards Bhagavan. And where is the mind is being pointed out, is being shown by the Acharya who gives Harikatha, who performs Harikatha. And while talking all of that, he also says where you are, only to indicate change your direction of thinking towards Bhagavan. That is what is required. So, Binu Harikatha, Rama Pada Dridha Anuragana Hoi. Therefore, participate in satsang, participate and enjoy the Harikatha. Then third one is Guru Pada Pankaja Seva Tisari Bhagat Aman. Tisari Bhagat. Third bhakti is what? Guru Pada Pankaja Seva. Seva at the feet of the Guru. And the last word is very, very interesting. What is that? Aman. There are two meanings to that word. Tisari Bhagati Aman, when it is said together, it means it is said to be the third bhakti, third form of bhakti. So, Aman represents is said to be. Meaning what? The whole parampara, the shastra, the gurus, everybody have been telling what? The third bhakti is Guru Seva. So, Aman stands as said to be. Another meaning when we attach it to the first sentence, Guru Pada Pankaja Aman Seva. Mana in Sanskrita means ego. Even in the Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter, Amanitvam Adambhitvam Ahimsa Kshantirarjavam. The first value given is Amanitvam. Amanitvam is what? Not having that ego. Amana. So here also is given Amana Seva. One has to perform Guru Seva without ego. This is very difficult. Very difficult. Why do I say it is very difficult? However, we all have come to perform or give our time to Bhagavan, the ego in us will not leave so easily. Initially, whenever we find a teacher and we enjoy the teaching, we enjoy learning from that person, then the heart will be filled with so much of devotion, and then we find we have to do something. This is common human beings' tendency. What is that? From whom I take something, I have to give back something. This is the paddhati. The paddhati is, Param Puja Gurudev's pledge to give more than what you receive. To give more than what you take, that is a word. To produce more than what we consume and give more than what we take. Giving is a very, very beautiful value. And how do we give? We give in the form of our little seva. Now see, when I receive knowledge, I want to give, and slowly what happens? The habit of the ego focuses more on what I give. Over a period of time, you will find the mind focuses more on what I give, and again the mind out of habit wants recognition for what I give. And not only that, there are some occasions where people think I should give more than the other and gain more recognition. If you go to all these temples and all, some ashrams also, see, ashrams and temples, etc., the spiritual institutions, they survive only from the contribution of the people. It is public contribution is what keeps the or maintains the institution. Since public contribution is involved, there is a practice that the bigger amounts given by people are displayed to recognize their contribution. And naturally you will find the initial stage when the display board or probably a stone, in the granite stone they engrave the names. When it is put, the first name is always the person who has given the maximum. And from there in the decreasing order, the names will be put. So a person who gives a little money is somewhere down below. Now he wants his name to be more higher and higher and higher. He has to be recognized. And when somebody gives maximum money, they want a separate stone to be put in their name. What are they doing? They are giving contribution for the maintenance of the ashram, for the temple, for the daily activities of the temple, for daily puja of the temple. We have seen in some temples, my God, I still can't understand how can it be called as a donation. They give a fan, and in that fan they want to be written, painted, what? Donated by Mr. Tinku. And they want it to be painted in such a way that it is seen, and when the fan rotates, you can't see. If it is written in that centerpiece or the wings, you cannot see. Therefore, they want it to be written in the cap above. Why? Even if the fan is running, it is running because of that person, not because of electricity. Think. One almara I give it painted. What? Donated by. Think. Every small contribution, I want it to be recognized. Recognized meaning what? I want others to know. So what kind of seva is that? And there are people, they call it what? Gupta Kanika. They quietly come, quietly give, quietly go. In many cases, they put it in the hundi and go. Nobody will know who has given. For what? For the functioning of the temple, for the functioning of the ashram, it is required. Quietly give, disappear. Meaning, idam na mama. This attitude of idam na mama. In fact, you know the truth. The truth is, nothing is ours. We came Kali Hath, you know that movie song. Kali Hath aaye hum, Kali Hath jayenge. Now don't sit there and think, oh Swamiji, you are seeing movies and all. No. I listen when I go to when I was traveling in the buses, they play all these movies and songs. We would sleep, but some such sentence attracts us because there is lot of Vedanta in that. Look at the Vedanta there. Khali hath aaye hum. We came with nothing, not even a langoti. And when you go, they won't keep anything in the body. They will remove everything and send you. Think. Therefore, seva is giving without expecting anything. This is one kind of seva. This is financial seva. Then we have Sharirika Seva. What is Sharirika Seva? I come and perform some work in the ashram. I come and do some activity in the ashram. I come and do physically. And while I am doing physically, the mind is filled with devotion to Bhagavan. Devotion to the Guru. In fact, there is no difference between Bhagavan and the Guru. Naguror adhikam tattvam, naguror adhikam tapaha. Guru himself. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva. And what is the last sentence? Tvameva sarvam. And what is the sarvam? Sarvam refers to that presence which is everywhere. And therefore, Guru is equated to Bhagavan. In fact, Guru is not even equated. Guru is kept one step higher to Bhagavan. In the Shastra, it is said, what is the sthana of the Guru? In case you were performing a puja at home, let us say Rudra Abhishekam. Normally speaking, when we are doing puja, we should not get up. It is an insult to Bhagavan. So we should not get up. That is a practice which is there. But while we are performing the puja, if a Guru comes, one has the permission to get up, offer the seat to the Guru, do namaskaram to the Guru, and then with his permission, come back and continue the puja. That is the sthana of a Guru. Think. Then, seva when we say at the feet of the Guru, now physical seva is offering our services for the one comfort of the Guru. He will not require anything. Please understand. He by himself will not require anything, but out of your concern, you may offer some physical comfort. It can be anything. It can be washing his clothes. It can be cleaning the ashram. It can be taking care of the maintenance of the ashram. There are so many people who come and do seva in the ashram. All those are part of seva. Physically, I give my time, my effort. Very, very important. Physical seva is extremely important. Now we have in our ashram also people who come and serve in the office, in taking care of the communication of all our activities. All those are physical seva. And then emotional seva is having a sense of belonging to the ashram. And it is not just the ashram. Having a sense of gratitude, kritagnyata bhava at the feet of the Guru. That emotional sense of belonging should be there. That love should be there. When there is love, pure love, unexpecting, non-expecting anything, or rather expecting nothing, demanding nothing, anticipating nothing. When I associate myself, when I offer myself at the feet of the Guru, that innocent, unconditional, pure love will clear the mind and keep it ready for receiving the knowledge which the Guru is offering. So through emotional association, I prepare my intellect also. That is a greater seva. Now when you come and perform the seva in the ashram, you don't come and what to do, tell me. Not like that. I look for the activity. Wherever, whatever is required to be done, I quietly do with all my love, devotion, commitment and surrender. This is emotionally offering my services at the feet of the Guru. Then comes the intellectual seva. What is this intellectual seva? Intellectual seva is raising my intellect above all the limitations of life. Leaving behind all the fascinations, leaving behind all the attachments, leaving behind all my occupations with the whims and fancies of the world, I lift my mind and intellect to receive that knowledge, analyze that knowledge, and abide in that knowledge. In fact, the Guru does not expect anything else. The only thing which the Guru would expect is to lift yourself and receive the knowledge and understand and abide in that knowledge. Sharirika, Manasika, Bauddhika Seva. Through this seva, I prepare my body also with an attitude of surrender. You know, it is said in this at home, when some guru or some acharya, somebody comes at home, we tell the children, don't put your leg like that, fold your leg. You must sit in this way only. You should not jump around and all. Be quiet. Meaning what? Physical discipline. Then what is the emotional discipline? Emotional discipline is when I offer my services to the Guru without any other expectation. What is his expectation? Expectation is nothing but attachment for something. It is an emotional attachment. One must not expect anything. Not expecting anything, but want to offer everything, whatever possible, is emotional seva. And what is intellectual seva? Is when I understand what is being taught and abide in the teaching. This is intellectual seva. And you will find all three put together is called spiritual seva. So spirituality is nothing different from Sharira Mana Buddhi. all the three as an integrated personality. I offer myself at the feet of the Guru for his work. And what is Guru's work? Guru's work is not to actually develop a fanciful ashram or to develop all the comforts with a BMW car or a Mercedes car. No, 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 no. Frankly speaking, a Guru will never expect anything other than your heart and your head. Your heart filled with love and the head empty to receive. Think, a heart filled with love and a head empty to receive the knowledge is all what a guru will want from a student. This, when we provide, then we are true students. Anything other than that, if we expect from the Guru, then it is no more Shishyatvam. Therefore, Acharya says here, Guru Pada Pankaja. Pankaja is a very beautiful word. Pank means the slush, in which Ja is Jayate. Panka Jayate. Meaning what? That which grows in slush is referred to here as lotus. The lotus lives, takes birth, lives, grows in that slush. But look at the condition. That slush can never touch the lotus leaf. That can never drench the lotus leaf. Can never dirty the lotus. It remains there, yet it remains unaffected. Similarly, Guru Pankaja Pada, it is the lotus feet. That is why it is always called lotus feet. In the Kavita, in poetry, this lotus is used for everything. Lotus eyes, lotus feet, lotus face, etc. So one may wonder, why only lotus? Why not rose? Like that. But lotus is glorified because of its ability to detach from everything. Therefore, Guru Pada Pankaja here refers to at the feet of the Guru who is detached from everything, including you. Remember this. Guru has no attachment for a Shishya also. When the Shishya has come, he has to teach. Once he is taught, he allows them to go and move forward in his sadhana. Such a great master, Guru Pada Pankaja Seva. One has to perform as much as possible seva to the Guru, Sharirika, Manasika, Bauddhika Seva. This is the Tisari Bhagati Aman. Aman means without ego, without any selfishness in it, without any longing for even recognition. Nothing. Just do. Why should you do? Because you can do. That's all. Bhagavan has given Sharirika Shakti, Manasika Preeti, and Bauddhika Buddhi. The Buddhi, the intelligence is given by Bhagavan. Use it. Think. Guru Pada Pankaja Seva Tisari Bhagati Aman. And the fourth Bhakti we will see tomorrow. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.